Hi guys, Rich out here in the woods, and brought out my Gurkha Kukri. Now I have not sharpened this. I did chop on a couple other things around here, and it's just not the kind of sharpness that I want. So when you get it brand new, you might want to check out the edge before you bring it out in the woods and do stuff. That's what I was doing today, so I know I definitely need to sharpen it up more. But with this, I wanted to talk to you that I'm going to be carrying this quite a bit this coming year. It's January, it's the 12th I believe today, something like that. So we're out here, it's a pretty warm day here in southwest Ohio. Now, there are some differences between this knife, machete, a large straight blade, those kind of things. This knife definitely has a curve to it. What does that mean? Well, first of all, we're using a knife. So when we're out here, we need to use our number one tool, our brain. Second of all, we need to understand that this knife and any other knife will bite anything you put in front of it, whether it be a piece of wood, your leg, your arm, your friend's head, whatever. It will bite it. With this particular blade, we need to remember that it's curved. So what does that mean? That means that with a regular straight knife, the blade would go up straight, come off here, and the blade would be out this way. So that I'd be cutting, and by the time I finished my cut, my wrist would be bent like this, my blade would be out here straight. With this knife, it's bent way down when you finish what you would normally call your cut. So you've got a couple extra inches you're dropping down. Okay? Now, I'm down here in this position because I'm going to cut this branch right here. Very small branch, but I'm just going to show it because I don't want to damage this honeysuckle here. And I just want to take this little piece off just to show you guys something. With this blade and with any blade, there's a couple of problems I have with using a blade to cut wood and stuff in the forest. There's some reasons to think about it. Now, I like a saw. Why? Well, it's quiet, and you cut this way with a saw, okay, and with a blade like this, so you go this way with a saw along the horizon, and with a blade like this, you cut at an angle, okay? It's like chopping with an axe. You chop at an angle. You don't go straight up and down. You don't get anywhere. You chop at an angle like this, so you can take out chunks. With a blade of this size and with other big blades, a lot of times you can chop directly through whatever you're trying to chop at. So now, being aware of what's down here, and there are rocks down here and other things, I don't want to chop with this down into the dirt because then I will damage my blade hitting a rock. But if I take this and I chop this off, I create another problem. Most people don't think about this. This right here becomes sharp and pointy because it's cut at an angle. Okay. Chop this off down here at the bottom at the base. Notice I chopped off the straight down like that. Now I'm going to set this here so I know where that blade is. It's out of the way. Okay. Never walk around with your blade out in the open. Never just walking around through the woods. You can slip and fall, hit your friend, stab yourself, fall on your own blade. Not good. Either put your blade away, put it back in the sheath, put it where it's out of danger or something like that. Here's the end I just cut off. It makes a punji stick. If it's low to the ground, or even it could be this high, it makes a sharp, pointy stick sticking up. Now, that can be dangerous to you, your friends, your loved ones, animals, anything else, somebody else who comes behind you in the woods. So, for that reason, when I cut off stuff, I normally like to cut it off as low as possible, and I cut it off flat. Somebody may trip over it, okay, but they're not going to get stabbed by it. You put your foot down next to something like this and your leg goes down it, this is going to stick into your leg, not going to be very good. If it's flat, you might scrape yourself, but it's not going to stab into you. Something to remember. So don't just go off into the woods playing Jungle Jim, hacking and slashing, okay? Not a good thing. Like I said, this blade needs to be sharpened up, and this blade needs to be kept clean, which means getting the sap or anything else off of it, and it needs to be kept oiled, because this blade is carbon steel. It will rust. Okay? Things to think about. There are uses for a blade out in the woods. Now, I'm not a big blade man. This is not my first big blade, but my first blade that I'm going to use out in the woods to demonstrate to you all. Some things I wanted to touch on about big blades about that. Pros and cons, uses. Now, you guys can go see all the videos on these knives, and yes, it will make feather sticks, and yes, it will make tent pegs, and yes, it will do all the other wonderful, great things that you want it to do, and it is a very good knife. Okay? It will do a lot of good things. Would I use it for a replace all? No. No, I wouldn't. I still like to carry a saw. I still carry a smaller knife. I still carry a tomahawk. For 40 years, those have never failed me. I'm 47 years old. Well, I will be in February, 47. Since I was 6, 7 years old, parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles have taken me out in the woods. I'm very lucky and very privileged to have people like that in my life. And I thank them. But things that work, I stick with. Things that are tried and true, I stay with. I will enjoy this blade. I will take this blade out. And who knows? This might be a new add-on to my kit. I'm hoping it is. There are places and times for this blade, and there are places and times not for this blade. You can't ask a blade to do what an axe is designed for. You can't ask a huge blade like this. Oh, I know, you can choke up and use the tip. It's really not going to do pheasant very well. It will do it, it will just not do it as well as other things. If you were out and only had one tool, it may be an option. Let's hope we don't get to that point where we have to use one tool as an option. So, with those said, with this going through, I can definitely tell you right out of the box, it needs to be sharpened. Okay. Also, don't walk around with your blade out loose. Put it in its sheath, no matter what the sheath is made out of. Remember that this does not have brains. You have to use your own brains. This will bite anything and everything you put in front of it. Okay? Rocks, grass, sticks, your leg, your arm, your friend's legs or arms. Remember that while you're out there this year. I don't want to see people going having stitches and doing dumb things. Alright. I'll catch you on the next one. We'll be out here shortly. It's starting to pitter-patter rain again. Alright. Well, gang, I hope you stay dry. I hope you stay warm. And I hope your resources are easy to find. I'll catch you all on the next one.